So, you know what I really hate? I hate when you're trying to go online and you're trying to check for a review of something and you really want to get an honest opinion about the performance of that product, and it's really hard to do because clearly the person you're watching is sponsored by that company and you just can't get a proper unbiased review, and that's all you're looking for is, hold on. You're just looking for an unbiased, just honest, straight from the heart, not sponsored. But I find YouTube is just flooded with sponsored ads all over the place and you can't get a reliable review. And, you know, I don't think I ever want to be like that. Okay. All right, we're done. What's up, my filmmaking, photographing friends? Hold on one sec. Today we're going to take a look at a budget field monitor and see if it can be better than a more expensive, maybe well-known brand. So the setup for today is I've got my Canon C100 Mark II, and attached to it I've got the Feelworld Master, because it's their Master series. It's an MA7U, and it just means it's a 7-inch monitor. It's capable of 4K input and output through HDMI. Alright, so just some quick physical specs about the monitor before we get into it. On the front, of course, we have the 7-inch LCD screen. It's a glossy screen, and it's rated at 2200 nits brightness, which is significantly brighter than the SmallHD, which is rated at 800 nits. On one side of the monitor, it's got a USB port for upgrading the firmware, it's got a headphone jack, and a DC 12 volt input. There's also a speaker grill under the headphone jack, and that allows you to actually hear out the audio that's going through the HDMI cable. On the opposite side of the monitor, you will find HDMI in and out ports, as well as 3G SDI in and out ports. And I'm comparing to the SmallHD Focus. That's a 5-inch monitor, very similar in specs. The brightness on that one is supposed to be 800 nits, so we're gonna really see if it blows the SmallHD out of the water in terms of brightness and maybe some other features too. But what I wanna do is just see how it performs in real daylight, in a real setting. We're gonna film my super interesting backyard shed here and just see what it looks like. So when we take a look at the monitor, we're gonna actually be able to see some features that it has that are similar to the SmallHD, such as focus peaking, false colors, grid guides, aspect ratios, custom calibration. And really both of these monitors in my use have performed really well. They both have a lot of features that are gonna be super helpful for you. I've gone over some of these features in another video that I made about exposure. You can check that out here. Really the thing I want to know is if it actually is brighter than the SmallHD, and can it provide as high quality of an image as the Focus. So let's take a look. So the first thing I want to try with the setup is the startup time. So the SmallHD is running out of the Feelworld Master here, and it won't turn on unless it gets a signal from this first, which is good because this one has to be turned on manually. Just a quick note, you can have this monitor auto on and auto off depending on the input. This one will turn on automatically when it gets a signal from its whatever device, camera or monitor in this case. So let me turn on the camera first. I'll let it warm up a little bit because it's a Canon C100 and it takes forever to start up. So when I turn on the Feelworld, they should both come on at the same time and we'll take a look. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. So I've clicked on the Feelworld. We'll take a look and see which one starts up quicker. So you see the Feelworld, but yeah, so it kind of starts up first with an opening screen, but the SmallHD had the image first. But not too big of a difference between both of them, so that's pretty good. Now just taking a look at brightness, this is the screen from the C100, and this is the SmallHD screen, and this is the Feelworld. So you can see there's a big difference if I go back between all of them. Obviously the Canon is the least bright. SmallHD is pretty good, and the Feelworld is pretty good. So I do want to mention I have the backlight on both monitors up as high as they will go. See the backlight's at 100%. There. You see, on this one you can see the backlight there at the bottom. It says 100%. Just gonna wait for that plane to finish ruining my YouTube video. Are you done? So I want to go over some of the things that I like about the Feelworld over the SmallHD specifically. But before I do that, please don't do what I'm doing. I have my A7 III balanced on a Chobi Gorilla Pod, which is kind of loosely touching my C100. So I have a camera on a tripod onto another camera. It's very unstable, and I didn't give you this idea, you didn't hear it from me. So the first feature is obviously the size. 7 inches is a great dimension of a monitor to be looking at if you're trying to pull focus or you're trying to frame up a shot. It's very easy on the eyes, it's very comfortable to look at, and it makes everything else a lot easier you're doing that day. So whether you're on a gimbal or whether you're just trying to frame up a shot and pull focus, it's very comfortable to look at. I did want to mention that the monitor itself is very light. The only weight you're going to experience is the whatever type of Sony NPF battery you put on there. So they both have focus peaking, they both have zebras, they both have false color, they both have histograms, and you can monitor your audio through them. So I mean, out of all the features I use, the ones that I use the most, they both have, so it's not a big deal. And of course the price, it's always great for, this is a 7-inch ultra bright monitor, so it being $369, they do offer 5-inch monitors. If I were to compare the 5-inch to a 5-inch, the Feelworld would be a lot cheaper. I believe it's around $200 or something like that. So that in itself can't be beat. You're always going to get a better deal when you're comparing the same sizes. So just keep that in mind. So currently I'm not comparing apples to apples 100%. I do love the input and output from the Feelworld. It's awesome because I can look at the image I need to see when I'm filming, and if I need to send it out to a reference monitor for like a client or an agency, while I'm shooting, they can see exactly what I see, and that is amazing. Or if I need to do a test like this, or if I need to put it up on a big screen, the colors of the monitor are really good. Out of the box, they came pretty close. I did tweak it a little bit to match the SmallHD because I had worked already hard to get the SmallHD to match what was actually coming out of my camera. So some of the things I don't like or I feel they could improve upon. First of all, I noticed it's the mounting options. The SmallHD has a 1/4-20 on every side of the monitor, I think, except for one. The Feelworld Master only has one 1/4-20 on the bottom. So that's definitely a big difference in terms of mounting options. However, you could mount the Feelworld monitor upside down if you had to, because it does have image flip, horizontal, vertical, mirror, all that stuff. It's not really a big issue, just those mounting points on the side I could see coming in handy, actually have come in handy on the SmallHD when I've been using it. We first have the 2 function buttons for custom functions. You can program those to any 2 functions you'd like in the menu system. Next to that, you've got the left and right menu buttons to adjust the settings. On the other side, you have the button to exit and enter the menu, as well as the up and down select buttons, and the mode select button, as well as the on and off button. And of course, the elephant in the room, the touch screen. Touchscreen is nice. It's very easy to get to your settings, turn on and off features. There's a whole list of features you can customize with the SmallHD. You can have different... Why do they gotta mow their lawn now? Where are you going? The touchscreen is really useful to turn on and off the video assist features, but I do find it does get littered with fingerprints. So it's kind of annoying. More annoying than those lawnmower and school bus and helicopter that's circling me. Am I not supposed to make this video? And then on top of that, SmallHD has all these customizable screens you can make. You can just quickly swipe right and left on the SmallHD to have a screen set up that has lots of exposure tools or focus tools. So that's really nice. In terms of turning on and off customizable tools very easily, you have those 2 buttons on top of the Feelworld, but there's only 2 of them. So if you want more than a couple features, you'll have to go into the menu every time and turn them on and off. We also have the red LCD that stays on even when the monitor is switched off, but the battery is in. I know people have complained and said that this does drain the battery. In my experience, as long as you have a big enough battery, I've left this monitor on for days and I haven't really noticed a significant drop in battery just from leaving the battery connected. If you had a smaller battery, I would imagine that it is going to drain significantly because you just don't have enough juice. So all in all, a really solid monitor for the price. I don't think there's any monitor out there that has these features, that looks this good, and that is priced this well. Thank you to Feelworld for sending this out to me and opening my eyes to new possibilities. And I don't think you can always judge a company by their name. I think you just have to try them out and see if they're right for you. I'm not going to actually put this on because it's like 40 degrees Celsius outside and already sweating, and there's bugs, people mowing their lawn, helicopters circling. So we're gonna call it a day today, and later.